Concert Crew Podcast, we back again.
Yes, sir.
Today we celebrating a street hood classic, Paid in Full. 20-year anniversary.
One of my favorite movies, man. Hood movies.
Paid in Full.
One of my favorite hood movies.
Paid in Full.
Definitely a hood classic. 20 years.
I agree. It's definitely a classic.
20 years. So we great talk about Paid in Full, the legacy of the movie, the characters, the impact of it. We great get into all of that. Paid in Full is definitely a cult classic right here,
absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
Paid in Full is a 2002 American crime drama film based in Harlem, New York in the 80s and 90s. The movie is based on a true story. This is based on a true story of A.Z. Faison Jr., Alberto Martinez, and Richard Porter. Paid in Full stars Wood Harris as Ace, Mekhi Phifer as Mitch, and Cameron as Rico. Paid in Full also stars Regina Hall as Keisha, Kevin Carroll as Calvin, Chi McBride as Pip, Elise Neal as June, Ron Cephas June as Ice, Issei Morales as Lulu, and Remo Green as Sonny. The movie was directed by Charles Stone III and distributed by Miramax Films. The movie was narrated by Wood Harris's character Ace. The production companies involved with this film were Rockefeller Films, Sean Loud Films, Rat Entertainment, which is an interesting name, and Dimension Films. Dame Dash, Brett Ratner, Steve Ripken, and A.Z. Faison and Jay-Z were given production credits for this film. I'm pretty sure some of that was just money and not actual creative involvement.
Here's my investment.
Paid in Full was released in limited movie theaters on October 25th, 2002. The movie cost $7.5 million to make and only earned $3.1 million at the box office, but it became a cult hood classic despite not making money, as far as selling and gross. It became a classic over the years. So it actually made way less. It was definitely a loss. But I don't know. Is it a loss if it gained all that the street credibility? Some stuff movies make money and they just label it as trash. This movie,
right about that.
I'm sure this movie, because of the way people look at it, the people involved with it were able to make money different ways because of this. So
created opportunities.
Yeah, so
but you still want to make money.
Yeah,
I'm not going to put out $7 million just to make back $3 million. You done lost.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
Look at it like this. I agree from the big business aspect. I agree, but then if you somebody like Wood Harris that already had dope movies and they like your performance and Paid in Full, then you get other gigs off of your performance.
It just added to your resume.
Yes, like Elise Neal and what's the other, Regina Hall. Yeah, they became bigger actors.
But it's actor friendly, not
money. It ain't a money thing.
Yeah. So, but for everybody, it probably opened up other doors for other things as well. Yeah. But regardless of everything, like I always say, like when you get monumental stuff at a certain time, it's always going to be that takes it above the money. You know what I'm saying? This was one of the great hood joints, man. Yeah. Like it's really not too many hood joints that I can put over this, and this is one of them. But this came right at the documentary came out first. The documentary came out, I want to say.
I've never seen the documentary.
Yeah, you got to watch the actual documentary of AZ put it. I think that was in the late 90s when that dropped. Damn. The late 90s when the documentary actually dropped. And then they came with the movie.
Yeah. So do you remember first seeing Paid in Full?
Yeah. I seen the bootleg from the rip.
I better say, I don't know nobody that actually went in the theater. And I think the closest theater that actually showed this from where we lived in Delaware was like Pennsylvania somewhere crazy. Yeah. Nobody was going there. So this was a bootleg special. Yeah, it was. This was on bootleg.
It was all about who had the clearance.
And that's probably why I didn't make no money. Because it was a boot. It definitely.
The way it came out.
You got to understand, this didn't come out like a lot of the other movies that this gets thrown in the category. All those movies came out in the early 90s, 90s. This came out in 2002.
Yo, Paid in Full and like Soul Plane was the most bootleg movies ever. Like I remember being in high school and it was like, yo, it's Paid in Full. I'm like, you got it on a CD, like pretty much like a DVD.
I was
version
in college, so you already know what it
Yeah.
was. Everything was damn near
If somebody
bootleg.
tell you they went to the movie, they see this, they lying. They lying.
Yeah.
They lying.
Yeah, absolutely.
It had to be some rural areas because it wasn't in no movie theaters that around us. That's a whole nother argument why it wasn't in the movie theaters, but it definitely wasn't in the movie theaters. So this was a
because the
bootleg
studio
special.
didn't really believe in it. They didn't want to push it to all the theaters. Like limited releases is like, all right, we're only going to show this to a couple theaters. That means how are you gonna make your money back if somebody here got to drive 50 miles to watch a movie?
Well, that's why you see names on there like Jay-Z, Steve Rifkin.
Yeah.
These are people involved in the culture that was throwing that bag their way to help them get this movie done. If not, I don't feel like none of those big companies were believed in this at all or stood at it. And it kind of just came out and grew legs on its own. Grew legs on its own.
They should have capitalized more off of it than they actually did. But really, when this dropped, that Rockefeller shit, it was on rocks. And I'm pretty sure they would have made a lot of money off a tour off this soundtrack alone, just bringing Cam out, the State Property, Rockefeller at the time.
They were huge.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of stuff going on at the time. And then I just thought they dropped the ball on a lot of stuff with this, with also the movie and how the movie came out. If that movie would have came out like every other movie and the soundtrack and they put a little tour or something together, they would have made a lot of money off
What they should have did was just took this movie on tour. Don't even take it to the theaters. Just sell it like DVD, like straight to the streets. Like,
and then the thing about this is that this is not just a East Coast classic. This is a United States of America classic.
Nah.
For real, man. This
Not even United States. I just heard Drake give a new bar, and Paid in Full is in it. He's still talking about Paid in Full.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. You feel me? So this is a worldwide classic. It's just that something happened different with it. We all don't know the ins and outs, you know, but I know that Dame, he had a lot of confidence in this movie when they was putting this together. He was right.
He fought for it. He was right. Dame, this is Dame's baby. I know you see names on there, Jay-Z, Steve Rifkin. This is Dame Dash's baby. He believed in this. He fought for it. Even when it wasn't in theaters, he still believed in it. He still was getting it out there to the masses. He was taking risks with the people that he was putting in the movie with no experience. But he believed in it, man. This was his baby. So out of all the movies, because 20 years ago, it isn't really that long ago, out of all the movies that came out, there's been a lot of hood movies, a lot of bootleg movies. Why has this movie kind of rose to the top and been considered like that cult classic of the streets?
Because it's a street story that's with credibility. You know what I'm saying? This is an actual true story. You feel me? And you got people, and you had people living in the times when this movie came out that could vouch for it, and you got people living to this day that can vouch for this. This is not just like I said, this is just not an East Coast thing because you know we on the East Coast. This is not just an East Coast thing. Everybody knew about Rich Porter and Harlem and all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And knew about the story. And like I said, the documentary was just a part leading after the magazines because you got to remember the magazines was coming out. Yeah, they was putting the story in there a little bit. What was the some of the magazines?
What's the magazines? The jail magazine name?
Don Diva.
Don Diva is another one.
There's another one. Feds magazine. Feds magazine put it out, and the stories was coming along, and then this also started the trend of these type movies and these type documentaries coming out. Because then you start having other people come out afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Now it's on a bigger scale now. Now you got the El Chapo films and all that. This really kind of started that, man. I'm being real with you. 2002. It wasn't too many documentaries, especially talking about some black brothers from the hood and actually made a movie. Yeah, because this documentary became a movie. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not too many of the hood classes that's doing that, and it's the truth. Some hood classes is put together classics. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like your Fridays and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
this is definitely organic.
This is a classic off of truth.
But I think it's also like a very popular movie like worldwide because also got the drug obviously in it, but also has that hip hop element too.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, they ride around with the flashy cars, got the drip and all that. Like this was the time of the Dapper Dan, all that 80s, late 80s Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I think the music and the feel of like
of the
scene,
movie,
like the scenes, like the people that's from that era, they knew that like, this is authentic.
Exactly,
this is how it was. This is how it felt in Harlem. If you ain't from Harlem or from this area, this is how it felt.
Yeah.
So you were outsider, maybe
outside.
you're from West Coast or somewhere down south. You're like, damn, they getting it. Like I feel where they
rubbed off, and it rubbed off into our neighborhoods because we had our players that was on that level. You know what I'm saying? That I remember. You know what I'm saying? Me being the oldest here at the table, we had our street guys that was in that lane. You know what I'm saying? And that was holding shit down, and that knew of the Rich Porters and things like that, and the guys that was above them. You feel me? So it was a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that stuff, though, man, a lot of that stuff really came off Superfly as well, the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all leaned down, and then it reached the kids, and then, you know, boom, boom, boom. So it's like, it was like a whole movement with that. But this story was unique because of how it happened, and it showed so, like, a real strong friendship and the money coming in between them and the betrayal. One of the biggest betrayals ever is killing your best friend.
But I think also this is like
or killing your friend.
I think this is one of the first movies to tell like a drug black story from New York. That, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, like we had our Boys in the Hood and those West Coast movies.
We had New Jack City. New Jack City was New York.
Yeah, but it wasn't true.
It wasn't. It was kind of based off of the truth, though.
Yeah, it was kind of based off of it, but it wasn't.
Nicky Barnes. You know, that's as far as everybody say. Juice was in Harlem. Juice
was in Harlem too.
But they wasn't selling drugs though.
It wasn't.
They wasn't.
This is made off
penny
somebody.
Pinchers.
Old man Quillis. Like that. Old man Quillis.
Nah, they was getting money on here. They was getting money.
Q was with everything, man. Let's just stop by the record store, man. At the end of the day, you're gonna need some records.
He said penny pinchers.
Arcade motherfucker hustles and all that.
Taking people money in Street Fighter.
Nah, this movie was different. They was getting big money, man. They was getting big money. Let's talk about some of the main characters and their importance to the movie. Let's start right off top with Rico Wood Harris.
Rico, I mean, no, not Rico. Wood Harris, like his character was like a regular straight dude. He just somehow fall into the drug game. He sees the crack rock. It's like, yo, this is just, and just kind of grows from there.
Well, he thought about he was around this. He was around this.
Yeah, Rico.
I'm sorry. Ace. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Ace.
Yo, that shit threw me up. I'm like, Rico. I'm like, Wood Harris.
My fault. Ace. Wood Harris. Like Ace grew up around. He grew up around all of this in the game.
And so he's seen Calvin.
Yeah, so he's seen the pitfalls. He's seen where people was going wrong. So he was like, okay, cool.
He was laid in the cut.
I want to get money, but I'm gonna do it. I want to do it a different way. I'm gonna learn from Calvin and, you know, and Mitch, and I'm gonna try to do it a different way.
I don't want to be flashy.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay back. So I'm gonna do my approach, and, you know, and it was working. He tried to get his team to all feel that way, but everybody wasn't on that. But Ace was a thinker. He was a thinker. He was trying to get everybody to eat to make sure everybody was happy. Like, he didn't start off with that mindset, but when he grew into it, he tried to do it on a whole nother level. You know, but unfortunately, you can't get everybody around you to see that vision. But Ace definitely he tried to apply some rules to the drug game that, you know, even though you're doing what you're doing, he was trying to make it so everybody could eat, everybody could win. Yeah, that was one of his favorite famous quotes of the everybody eats.
And it was Harlem.
So would y'all say Ace is the leader of the crew?
By the end of the day, he had the plug. Yeah. So the plug.
Once Mitch went to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But when Mitch came back, Ace was that guy. Yeah. It had to go through him, whether you respected him in that authority or not. It had to go through him.
It's just that Mitch was the face of the organization. Yeah. In so many words. Mitch was the power. You know what I'm saying? Mitch was the highlight. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, you know, Ace was, he had the plug in his pocket.
Right.
You feel me? And nobody had that type situation like him.
Right. What about Mitch Mekhi Phifer?
Which is a great actor, by the way.
Great
was
actor.
talking about.
And this helped him too. This helped him because he at this point he's still considered young. We looking at his whole body of work now, but at this point he's still considered a young actor.
Yeah, this 2002.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and like
I
I
filmed
was just,
before this, but
He
still.
did. I still having him in here is a big. That's a big
yeah.
play. That's a big play.
and like I was saying, like he was the ultimate hustler. You know what I'm saying? He was the face.
Yeah.
He was the face of the organization, and he was that guy before he got locked up. And what he was doing and what he was representing, it stood for Harlem, and it stood for people that was on the path or in the circle that he was in. And he was that dude for real, for real. Rich Porter for real was that dude.
Yeah, he was that dude. So he was playing that dude, and he's portraying a real life person in Rich Porter, and he did a great job to me. I think he nailed it.
Yeah.
From everything, from the lingo, just the way he carried himself. He ain't from New York, but you believed he was from New York. Like he carried himself well. Like I think Mekhi Phifer.
He's actually from Harlem.
Is he?
Yeah, so that kind of made it like I had to fact check.
Maybe I'm thinking about him in a Eminem movie. My fault.
You dress? Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, no.
How you go from that to that, man?
I'm picturing him with the dreads and
8 Mile.
and 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Nah, he did a great job. He did a great
yeah.
job though. He is from New York, so that makes sense. So he knows everything. He know the field. No, so it's Wood Harris.
Yeah.
That's not from I don't think Wood Harris is from New York.
I think he is too.
He from New York?
I think too. Oh,
He's just a great actor anyway though.
Yeah.
So all of them, so if that's the case, then all of them are from New York.
Wood Harris is from Chicago.
I was about to say, he ain't from New York. So Wood Harris did a great job, of portraying the New York.
Absolutely.
Mekhi Phifer did a great job. And then we got a newcomer, man, Rico, played by Cameron.
To the acting game.
Yeah.
Well, not really to the acting game, but on the big stage of the acting.
Yeah, Dame took a risk on this.
Yeah.
They said he auditioned for the job, and he really did the scenes. Like he wasn't like they was like, yo, this is crazy. Like the scene when he pulled the dude out the car. They said he really did that.
Yeah.
I heard Wood Harris talk about that. They said like it was that they ain't cut that. It was a certain way they called it. How he said no, he really pulled him out. He really did that. He really hit him.
It's like they had to really keep that. You know what I'm saying? And the act it was good acting. Yeah, but Cam, man, Cam growing up knowing the story and really seeing them guys probably out there at the time, and it was all organic. You know what I'm saying? And he killed it, man.
That's pressure.
He killed it, and I think he put pressure on them for them to bring their game because Cam had the advantage. He had the home court advantage. You know what I'm saying? Because he actually heard about this story for years and he actually seen it. You know what I'm saying? And if he didn't see it, somebody around him knew exactly everything. But I'm pretty sure Cam seen it and, and idolized it. You know what I'm saying? As, like I said, when, you young coming up in that type field.
But he also had pressure though, because you going against more seasoned. You up against two more seasoned actors,
and then ran pressure on them because they didn't think he was going to bring it like that.
Yeah,
nah, he definitely stood on his own too.
Yeah.
But this right here is stamped Cam acting for me. I don't know if he coming out with anything else later
didn't do
than
much
this.
after that other than Killer Season.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, they did the Killer Season joints, but they wasn't on
what was
that.
that
level.
one movie where he was shooting out, then he had to go down south in Florida?
Oh no,
It was on
That probably
Netflix.
was
It was
a Netflix classic.
it was something else.
Man.
Yeah, that wasn't good though.
Yeah, but this right here, like, kind of, I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And he felt this role out real well.
What about Keisha Elise Neal, Ace's girlfriend? Now she went on to do like a lot of dope stuff.
movies, yeah.
So for her to
Her role was real light in here, though. It wasn't really that. You know
She was
what
in
I'm saying?
Scary
She
Movie
was the
before that.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she
this is
slid-
a
she
begin.
slid
This is
in.
a beginning startup type joint for her.
Yeah. Go ahead, keep it moving.
What about Kevin Carroll?
Calvin. Oh yeah. Well, you always gonna remember Cal.
Grimy.
You know what I'm saying?
Grimy.
Cal disrespectful at the dinner table.
That's very disrespectful.
Very disrespectful at the dinner table. He was a cocksucker. Yo, that nigga, I would have fucked him up. Yo, what? Yo, that nigga was very disrespectful at the dinner table. Going out to dinner. Man. Yeah, we're going out to dinner. You know, y'all can say this.
Yeah, he couldn't handle not being the man. He couldn't handle not being the man when he came. Then he came back home.
Yo, but you got to peep it though. When he got up from the table and he walked up by the door, right? He walked by the door. He looked at her and said, "On his way out, on his way out, like." Go.
And then they like, man, you stupid.
Yeah.
Ace like, you stupid.
See, Ace was a sucker
and
right
then
then.
And then the mom was like, you know,
this
is like, you gotta go ahead. You gotta go ahead. He gave me that bread. Go ahead.
Yeah.
She'll be out there.
It was.
Thank you, Calvin.
She called.
Thank you, Calvin.
What you need to do. He built them shits off too old school style.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this motherfucker.
It's crazy. What about Pip, Chick McBride, the dry cleaners owner? What did he play at? Don't he play a TV show or something? He was like a bigger TV show. His face familiar.
What was that high school show on Fox back in the day? He was like the principal or something.
I don't know, Sean. You're a Google guy. I'm asking you. You watch all the TV shows, man. But he's someone Ace looked up to in the beginning. But then when Ace started getting money, it was like, Pip, I'm different now, man. I want my money by Friday for dry cleaning.
Yeah. He let him know. He let him know early. He played a couple movies too.
He did. He played in a couple things.
He played a couple joints, man. He played what's the shit when they were still going in 60 seconds? Remember he played in a couple joints.
But Ace
was like, I knew. He said, I seen you coming. He said, I seen you coming. Are you big time now? He said, I seen you. He said, I knew you wasn't going to be around here for long. He said, yeah, I need my money. I ain't know you want that 100. Is this the big time?
I want my money by Friday.
I want my money by Friday, man.
Yeah, he was in Boston Public.
I knew it was. I knew I see his face in one of them shows.
He was also in Roll Bounce.
Really?
Yeah, he was the dad.
Roll Bounce wasn't a bad movie. That was
he was Bow Wow's dad when he smashed the car, took the baseball bat from him.
What about June, Elise Neal? She was like Ace's like ride or die. She opened up the crib for him. That was a big
She's a good actress.
She was with that paper.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What was the show she had with her, Dwayne Martin, and Lisa Ray?
Yeah, she was in that.
Yeah.
She was in a lot of stuff. She was in a lot of stuff.
The Hughleys, she was in that. She was the wife, right?
She was. That's when she was all grown up. She's a woman then. Yeah, she got killed in this though. She got murked out,
like,
man.
yo, you trying to make some money?
Yeah.
Said, shit, come on in.
Come on in. What about Ice, Ron Cephas Jones?
Great actor.
He's another
Uncle
guy.
Uncle Ice.
He's grimy in here too, man.
Ice is in there watching motherfucking Gilligan's Island plotting on motherfucking what you call.
He took out his own nephew,
acting like he's sleeping the whole time.
He took out his own nephew. That's a message in itself. Greed and jealousy. What that could do to you, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is his peoples. This ain't even like random people. Yeah. And then Mitch tried to put you on, but you was just getting high on all the work. He said, "Money making Mitch." I can smell the money on you a mile away, or something he said. That Ice was grimy.
That was a good scene too when he came into the arcade or he came into the store with him. That was dope.
And then what about Lulu? Essay Morales.
Lulu was the plug.
The plug. He taught him the game too.
Yeah,
he taught him the game.
Taught him the game. Gave him that raw shit too.
Yes, he did.
Raw shit. Shit turned the block out. For real. He gave that motherfucking unstepped on shit.
He just gonna give it to me in a plastic bag? Yeah, man.
Yeah. And then when something happened to Lulu, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he like I gotta make this right.
Yeah.
Who's next up? I gotta go to the other plug and make this right. I want to keep this going.
He a good actor too.
What?
My man played
I
Lulu.
know you're talking about. Yeah. Nah,
He's in your show, Freaks. Ozark.
Yeah, he is in there, ain't he?
Dell.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was. He was in there too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real good actor. He's a real good actor.
He was a plug in there too.
Yeah.
Got his head blown off.
Yes, he did. Got his head blown all the way off. Got his head blown all the way off. He's a great actor. He's dope, though. He's dope. All right, so how did the movie portray, how you think it lived up to the real life people that this movie was based on? You know, you got AZ, Rich Porter, Al Porter. And it's dope that AZ was part of this process, too, I thought. Like, he was a producer.
It makes it real.
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad he got actual credit, like where he got money from it. I thought that was dope. So how do you think the portrayal of the real life people, you know, played into this movie, into everybody? Well, everybody, I can't say everybody knew in 2002 that this was based off of real people, but maybe they went back and found out later. But how do you think the real life story played into Paid in Full and the success and the myth, the legend, everything?
I think it kind of gelled right with it. You feel me? And like, it's just like everything was lined up right with it, man. And for it to go the way that it went, and the way that like it didn't go on that level that we thought it would. I just thought that everything was cool, and I thought that Dame just really tried to bring it together the best he could. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Dame being from Harlem, you know, this is a big assignment for him.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
You know, the AZ, Rich Porter, Alpo story is one of legend. This is a mythical story for the hood, especially in that area or New York, the streets. This is a big deal. So you gotta try to portray it the best way, but also it's a real life story, but it's also like this is a powerful story. It's almost like hood Shakespeare almost. Like it tells you like with success what happens when jealousy and you know the different evils of life what it would make people do. So I understand them not trying to put the real people's names in there because you want to try to move around and do different stuff. But the basic message of it, even though it happened in real life, like this is something that I think anybody could take from. If you take the basic message of look, we brothers, but we let jealousy and greed kick in, and what happens? It splits us up, it divides us. This is all this stuff we be talking about on this podcast. This is still going on to this day. These same type stories, people are still dying over these same type basic principles. So I think this is why it resonated with people, because this is still going on to this day. You seeing people come up having success, whether it's illegally or illegally, and then stuff happens, money comes in, jealousy comes in, people get in your ear, people do people dirty, go behind their back. Like this is still relevant to this day.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy because like, all right, so we're a team, and it's like you get $1,000, you get $1,000, I get $1,000, and it's funny how we'll all spend that $1,000 totally different, and it'll be like, all right, Freaks went out and bought like $1,000 worth of sneakers. Maybe I invested it, and you just saved it, didn't even touch it. Like it's just crazy how like, and then you see how like money will change people, and you see how like friends, like they'll take the money and just like Rico, he was just blowing his money, having chicks and all that. Ace was just kind of, I'm just chilling with mine. You know what I'm saying?
And then Rico want to expand. He want to go to different areas. Ace like, that's chill. We getting love in Harlem. Like, nah, you know, Rico like, I want to go down DC. So then he talked to Mitch. Mitch, you know, hear Rico. He hear Rico, but then he go to Ace like real slow. You know, he talk about, you know, they making money down DC. So he break it to him real smooth because Mitch know he got Ace ear to a point. Like so, but he can't come at him like Rico saying. He gotta smooth it
Ace
over.
the boss. So many words. Ace the boss, Mitch the face. You feel me? In so many words, and they knew that. But
also Rico was brought in.
It took Rico a long time to really notice that. You know what I'm saying? And then once he really noticed it, he wanted it to run the way that he felt as though it would run if Mitch would run it. But Mitch like, nah, you know, shit been going good with Ace, man. So whatever he went on with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Rico became like the muscle. Even though they didn't even want him to be the muscle, he just became, you know, laying that murder game down, like you said, like he just became the muscle. So it's a real life story, and it's and even the real life version of this is even sadder than the movie portrayal. The real life story, if you do your research on this, it's even worse than it was portrayed in the movie. It was really sad that this even drugs being involved. It's sad how this ended. Like, it's real, because I feel like it really could have been avoided. It really didn't have to go down this path.
Right.
You see people dying in the streets. You see people going to jail in the streets, and then you see this story. And this is a whole nother level. You get kids getting killed, fingers getting taken off.
Yeah.
You know, it's more gruesome. The realer story is even more gruesome than it was portrayed in the movie. The movie is a cleaner version of what happened. That's crazy to say, but what happened in real life. But that's why Rich Porter is elevated so much, especially in Harlem. Like, Rich Porter is loved because of how he was done by Alpo. It was grimy, man. It's some grimy. It's some grimy stuff. And then
to
the
highest level. And
then for the person to be still for years until he just got killed, which is a whole other karma issue in its own. But before that, to still be known snitch and then riding around Harlem, you know, on motorcycles and stuff. Imagine his family, Rich Porter's family. Like, that's a slap. You're a known. You're like on record being a witness. Then you left witness protection. Then you riding around Harlem. Like, that's disrespectful.
Enjoying your life.
Yeah. He thought it was sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of rats. That's what a lot of rats do. They come back, and then you got people that's befriending them and things of that nature. So, you know, it's part of the game.
But the crazy thing about him is even though he was a known rat and informant, people were still so scared of him, they was letting him do what he wanted to based off of his record. Like, he was still right around Harlem, but he got comfortable.
Yeah, that's what they do, man. You know. And
when you get comfortable, stuff happens. And all them years later, he thought he was cool.
Wasn't he killed on like Halloween or something?
I don't know, but he was scared. He was late night, and he was real comfortable in Harlem. And somebody remember.
Rocked his block.
Somebody remember. And that's what happened. Sad story in real life. Real sad story in real life. But I think they did a great job of getting the basic aspects of it portrayed in this movie. Great job. What does paid in full mean to hip hop?
I think this is like with hip hop, hip hop and drugs are like parallel together. They coincide with each other. And this is just the story of it. I mean, you got the drugs, you got the hip hop music. They're going to the clubs where they're playing hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just that time, that era, 80s.
Yeah, and then moreover, it's like it's the story, the overall story of Harlem.
Yeah,
the growth of some young men from Harlem taking over Harlem, representing that hip hop flavor, which is the culture, the style, the everything that, you know, hip hop, because hip hop took their stuff from the streets, from the street guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
the
like
rappers
from the
wanted to dress like
jewelries,
them.
the way they dress and all that, the rappers wanted to dress like them. So
the cars, can't forget the cars.
the cars and all that. Yeah. So all that really came into one situation. So the overall, just I think going back in time and this movie, the making of the movie, the songs that was playing during the scenes,
you felt it,
and
right?
things of that nature, is what really made this movie so much classic. You know what I'm saying? Because at some points when you hearing these songs and during these certain moments, it bring back it sparks something in your head, man, and you may have not heard that song in a minute until you seen that. When the last time you seen this? 2002, and they making this movie, you getting 1988 BMW convertibles with BBSs and shit like that. Like, seeing that shit in 2002 rocked you. It was like took you all the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, the title of the movie is Paid in Full. So it's based off Eric B. and Rakim classic cut. So that alone is hip hop there. Then you got Dame Dash and Rockefeller Films behind this. This is one of the number one rap labels at this time. So their involvement in it also helped the movie clout because, Rockefeller, Hove, he moving. Yeah. So Dame and them, they moving in the industry. Yeah. So for them to be behind the movie,
anything that they would have put out,
this movie dropped the right way in the theaters. I'm telling you, it does so much better. Yeah. It does so much better.
Yeah. Then you got Cameron. Cameron, he's a rapper. He's starring in the movie. That's a big deal.
On Rockefeller.
You got cameos by Dougie Fresh. You got Brucey B in here. You got Nori in that cameo.
Got Nori,
Angie Martinez is in this movie.
Dame Dash.
Yeah, Dame Dash. And rest in peace, Dame Dash is in the car with Biggs' brother, Bob Allah. He passed away in a car accident, but the dude look at him real close. He looks just like Biggs, Kareem Biggs Burke. That's his brother that passed away in a car crash, and Jay-Z actually rapped about him in a song, man. But yeah, so all these people are in this movie. It's heavy hip hop. Then the music, it's just, man, it's all in the movie. And like Freaks was saying, the feel from the songs that you get from the scenes, like it brings extra authenticity to it because it's like that song goes right with that time, right with that feel, and they getting money. It's a great time. It's a great.
What was that one scene they had a Phil Collins song, even though it wasn't hip hop,
and the Heat of Night with that, but that connects. That's song
definitely
connects.
The 80s. Yeah,
that song
so it's
connects.
like
that's one of them 80s songs.
Yeah, so it definitely felt like the 80s.
No, that song connected with the black culture.
It was other songs in there that they was playing. They was playing Luther Vandross, and all that. You know what I'm saying? All that type stuff was getting played, and that was them songs from back then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Now, what did this? We mentioned it before, but Cameron is a leading actor in this movie. This is right around the time when this came out, is when he was making the transition to get out of a bad deal at Sony and move to Rockefeller. Dame, put him in this movie. Then he's getting a move. Then he's making a transition over to Rockefeller Records. I don't think he officially, when they started making this, it was officially done, but it was being worked on where he was going to Rockefeller Records. So what did Paid in Full do for Cameron?
Oh, it definitely took his acting to another level. And
I don't think we had nothing really to compare. It wasn't really nothing.
Yeah,
before.
It wasn't, because
other than music videos,
and that's what I'm saying. And for him to come out so strong in this, it was a good thing. But he always did a little bit of acting in his videos. But this right here took it to another level, and then it made people visit. Some people had to go back and check his music out after his performance.
Definitely,
you feel me?
I think it helped his career a lot.
Yeah,
I think his career a lot. And it
may have helped this tough guy image in a way a little bit.
Absolutely, he didn't capitalize movie wise because he really didn't do a lot after this. It's not like he kept it going, but I don't think he really was trying to. I think he wanted to just get this popping. So I think his whole Dipset movement and all of that, I definitely think this movie helped all of that. All of that because he was making the transition to Rockefeller. That was like a big deal. He already hot from Paid in Full. Mm-hmm. I'm on Rockefeller. I'm on a new team. My Dipset, we coming with it. Like, I got a whole new energy down. I'm out of a bad deal with Sony. Mm-hmm. Sports, Drugs, and Entertainment came out. It wasn't really promoted. Confessions of Fire came out before that. It wasn't really promoted the way I wanted to. I was in a bad situation. Dame got me out of it. I got this movie. I got this Rockefeller movement.
My face is out there.
Yeah, I'm moving. So Cam, but he did, like, to go back and say it again, I think he really did a really good job for a first role.
Yeah, absolutely.
He did a really good job.
With two qualified actors.
Definitely.
But just two qualified starting actors, but definitely in a great cast with some good actors.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we got the movie soundtrack up here. Dame Dash Presents Dream Team is hosted by DJ Clue. Now, the people don't remember. I don't know if you remember, but it's actually two discs. One is old songs that they used in the movie.
Paid in Full movie.
Yeah, in the movie, and then it's a CD full of new material.
Right.
So, what do you remember about the Paid in Full soundtrack put out on Rockefeller Records?
Well, it was getting slid in everywhere with the tracks. that was on here, like the Champions joint. That got slid on a couple mixtapes.
Yeah.
The Champions was crazy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Champions
it was crazy
The Kanye
because you
produced
found
that.
out Kanye can rap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. So,
We are the
Yeah.
and then the
That was a crazy sample.
and then the Rock Army joint. Like, yo, man, it was a good soundtrack. That's what I said. Like, if this joint was
like a tour.
a tour as well, this joint would have did crazy, man.
That
Crazy.
Champions joint was crazy with the what's the name of that rock group again? We are the what's their name? I can't think of their name right now.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
No, that's a song. That's not the name of the group. It's Queen, right?
I don't know.
I don't know why I can't think of that right now. Bohemian Rhapsody is Queen's song for sure.
Oh, okay.
No, man, they and then One for Petey's on there. That Petey Crack song. That song was crazy. One for Petey Crack and two for free. So then the Philly movement was getting set off, right? That had a video.
You don't know what you do. That was on there too.
Yep. Hove. Yep. Man, this is a dope. This is a hip hop. It wasn't like big selling wise, but it was a good street joint for Rockefeller. And then if you didn't hear, if maybe you were younger at the time and you didn't know about some of the old music used in the film, they had the disc of all the old. So it was more like a movie score CD and then another disc too. So that was dope, man. It was dope. Definitely a dope movie soundtrack.
But at the time, like all that stuff was getting bootleg like heavy.
All this is bootleg.
All this was on Kazaa, whatever. Right?
This was a heavy.
This was a heavy soundtrack though, man.
Yeah.
2002 was a heavy bootleg era.
Crack.
It was a heavy bootleg era.
Definitely.
Absolutely. The home of Philly where they kill you.
Oh, that song was crazy too.
Every other.
Young Chris and Beanie, that's ice. I like that song too. Young Chris is bubbling too, man. As like the
everybody at the Rock
solo wise,
was bubbling in.
Yeah, you're right. This is right when they were really
this was
running it.
Yeah, they was
running it. And you got Clue, you got Cam, you got State Property. Of course, Hove is that guy. Yeah, Rock was running it. The streets for sure. They was running it at this time. So what does Paid in Full did for some of the other main actors like Wood Harris? What did Paid in Full do for him afterwards?
Shit, didn't it give him what's the Wire?
The Wire. We definitely just talked about it. Check out the Wire 20th episode. Episode Wire 20 if you haven't heard that. But yeah, he come off that. He come off. It helped him set up with the Wire.
And the Wire set him up for BMF. Because 50 posted the picture like, yo, I need this guy, and it was a picture from him in the Wire.
Yeah, he did so many.
He did a lot of shit.
He did so many dope movies.
Remember the Titans?
Remember the Titans was a great movie.
That might have came out before this.
Did it?
Yeah, it may have.
So,
and then before this, he was in Above the Rim. You know, so
Yeah.
he's in a lot of classics before and after this. A lot of classic movies. Mekhi Phifer again,
And
he was in a lot of classic material. 8 Mile came out after this. Or before this.
After
This.
I was like 2000. Might have been around the same.
That's
2003.
That's another classic movie.
Yeah.
Shaft. He was in Shaft.
Soul Food. Like
Soul Food.
he was in a lot of. Mekhi Phifer was in a lot of great classic movies.
Scream 2. He got killed quick though.
Mekhi Phifer was in a lot of joints.
Yeah.
Wood Harris is probably in the.
No. That was Omar Epps. He was in Scream 2. Yeah.
Wood Harris probably in the most hood classic stuff. Like compared to anybody, like he in the BMF now. And he was in the Wire. He was in Above the Rim.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans was a whole different role for him, but that's classic in its own. Yeah, a lot of dope stuff, man. A lot of dope stuff. Cameron, he the only one I can't. Cameron really didn't do no acting other than Killer Season. I'm surprised he didn't really.
He had this one movie on Netflix. It was like.
If you got to search for it that much,
it wasn't that.
it ain't make that much of a difference. Favorite moments from this movie?
Oh man, definitely when Rico pulled my man up out of the car. You know what I'm saying? He was like, damn. Ace got shot now. Y'all ain't got nothing going on around this joint.
He ain't like that.
Y'all soft. Definitely that moment. Definitely when Definitely with Kermit was what's what you call boyfriend name? At the dinner at the dinner table. Calvin at the dinner table. That's definitely one. What's another one? It's a few of them, man. When they was in the club and my boy Rico, he had the joint up.
The tape, the porn out joint, you knocking the joint like, you see me,
and then the point came up with Calvin came in, and then Rico slapped. That was a good part as well.
Yo, one of the best scenes in the movie where Ace and Mitch is sitting in the car, and Mitch is crying about his little brother got killed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then what's the one scene with Rico? Niggas dudes get shot every day, B.
I say that to this day. I quote that to this day. I put that in every life, real life. Some of my favorite moments though was Mitch riding around Harlem getting love from everybody. That was dope.
Came home,
everybody like he was just the man. Well, it was a scene before he got locked up when he was doing that too. Remember Ace was in the back with the dry cleaner joint, and then everybody was like stopping, like woo. And then he came home again. And he was riding around like both of them. It just felt good. Like he was getting love, man. And like they loved him in Harlem.
Didn't they had a DJ give him a shout out too? He was riding. Like,
that was Brucey B. That was Brucey B. That was dope. And then that's my other scene when Ace, Mitch, and Rico was in the club. They came in the club. They was posing in front of the background like that. That's when they was. That was at the height, and it was all love before all the other stuff got in. They was just them dudes.
Yo, but it's like those small things like that, like taking the photos with the backdrop. That makes it authentic. You know what I'm saying? Like that makes it like
It was. That's how it was, man. During that time, that was the '80s.
Yeah.
You gotta realize that this movie is portraying the '80s.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the '80s, man. Shit, the crack era. It was crazy. You feel me? So, and you gotta realize that this was a borough in a big city that was getting recognition from the world. You know what I'm saying?
What about any quotes? Any quotes from the movie? You remember? It's a lot of stuff that's used.
You just said one of them. Niggas get shot.
Niggas shot every day,
shot
B.
every day, B.
Niggas get shot every day, B.
Hey, Ace, pull your skirt down, man. Dudes get shot every day. Hey yo, niggas get shot every day, B. You be alright. You tough, right?
Money making Mitch.
Money making Mitch.
Ice. That's always classic.
Money making Mitch. He said, in 10 years, me and you, we're gonna have matching Benzes. 10 years.
More like
I'm thinking more like 10 days, man. 10 days.
Yeah.
Oh man, Sean, the one you said, Sean, that was also, man. He said, man, a nigga like me, I love the game.
Yeah.
I love the hustle, man.
Magic and Bird and them.
I'd be like one of them ball playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. you know, nigga got dough and nigga can lead the league.
Yeah.
But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man. Like, I got love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man, hash, weed, heroin. As long as a nigga is feeling it, a nigga like me could hustle it. That's my gift in life, you know?
Yeah. That was on one of TMF songs with Trife and them. Trife and Ghost, they had put that on there.
Then he said, man, I'm about to be on some real murder shit, I'm telling you, man. Any nigga that ever looked at me wrong, owes me money, or ever said some jealous ass bullshit to me is fucking dead. You understand what I'm saying? They're fucking dead, man. Classic, man.
Classic movie.
Hey,
Classic,
sitting
man.
there like,
Classic stuff, man. All right, so what do y'all think about Dame saying he's about to put out a Paid in Full 2? He said, he said Rich Porter, not Rich Porter, Alpo getting killed in real life was the ending he was looking for all these years, and he supposedly have already started production or casting.
But it's all new characters, right? It ain't gonna be Mekhi Phifer and
well, Mekhi Phifer is killed.
I
mean, Rico technically could be in it, and Ace could be in it, but I don't know how they're gonna play it.
Right.
Well, first of all, the money backing behind it is a big deal, because you gotta have the money to make it believable in the backing.
Yeah,
you know, Dame's Mr. Independent, but this is a tall task.
I think it'd be based around Rico though, because not too many people got his story really.
Yeah,
Afterwards, not unless you're gonna go into regular Harlem stuff as how Harlem turned around when, you know, when Mitch got killed, things of that nature, what AZ did, blah, blah, boom, and all that. But
A started investing in the rap business though. He started,
that too. But it's not too much of a story. But it'd be based around Alpo, basically kind of in jail, waiting to come home, things of that nature, running around jail. That's my only thoughts on.
Would you name it Paid in Full too, or
absolutely?
Would you do something else with it, like its own separate side? It
movie? Depends on how majority of the story come out. Because if not, it might be like, you know, something about Alpo.
Well, I feel like you got to have some kind of new crew that's out getting money in order to make it be fitting to be paid in full too. Somebody got to be out there getting money, and it's so long ago. It's 20 years later. You could show the different. So only you can show the change in times.
Yeah, but what is that going to correlate to them? This story, it's not going to correlate to the story. It gotta be something from Alpo living on, because Alpo was the only one that people was worried about.
Well, he coming home. He coming home now. He feel like he's still the guy. It's a new regime in town.
So it would be a story of him in prison,
and he end up getting murked out at the end. Yeah, he come home.
It'll be something of that nature.
I mean, it could work. It depends on casting. It depends on. It's a lot of factors.
But you know, ain't no telling how we may be thinking how Dame. Well, we know Dame might be thinking in a whole different way. But
the budget got to be right from the beginning.
I know that you will have to. Of course, Cam gonna be in there. Got to be.
I would hope so.
Yeah, because you can't get nobody else to play out.
I think he has to play out. I think he has to play Rico again. If he don't play Rico again, there's no point of having that character in there.
I don't think he wants Cam back for part 2.
Well, remember
he gonna need him.
Well, Cam said he had a hard time doing the part at the end where he snitched. I remember him saying that from the original. But I feel like if you're gonna have him, if you're gonna do it, and he has to, I feel like he has to be in there. Yeah. If he has a different character to play that, you might as well scrap it.
I think I read that he said that he wants a new character. It's like younger.
Well, then they must be making a whole new story then. It must have nothing to do with, unless he gonna have an old ass, you know, Rico. I feel like Rico, if he's saying he was waiting for Alpo to get killed, then that's Rico. So how could you make that without him?
Yeah, I agree.
I'll find that tough, but we'll see. We'll see how he runs. It's a tough order because it's been so long.
Yeah,
and you're dealing with like a cult classic, man, right. Hood classic. So
sure,
that's tough, man. That's tough. This the reaching segment, man. And any Freaks, I know you got something for me. Any movies came out in the past 20 years that remind you of Paid in Full?
I would TV shows, maybe Snowfall.
I can't say movies, but TV shows definitely.
Yeah.
TV shows,
shows. BMF,
Snowfall. Oh, I got one movie.
I would think Snowfall is a little bit more.
One movie. American Gangster. On a bigger level though.
Denzel.
American Gangster.
American Gangster is before Paid in Full time, so you can't really use that.
I'm just saying from the narrative of they taking a real life, once again, real life people.
All right, you ain't clear that part up there.
But it's not
basically saying. I'm thinking how we do the albums. It's more than like off the Paid in Full type way.
Well, off the exact layout. Probably like a Snowfall, maybe even like a Power.
I want to say probably not even Snowfall. I'm going to say like a Power BMF.
BMF.
Yeah, Power and the BMF.
Only thing about Snowfall is it's just not centered in New York. It's
still older times though. Yeah. Older Snowfall is like an American Gangster.
Nah,
you get what I'm saying?
That's in the 80s.
Yeah.
Snowfall is definitely in the 80s.
Snowfall's in the 80s for sure.
Yeah, but it's early 80s. This was like 80.
This started in the late 80s.
Late 80s.
Yeah, it started in the late
Snowfall
80s.
is like early 80s, man. 70s, 80s, early 80s.
Well, BMF is the 90s.
Yeah,
in Detroit.
It's
it's not New York.
See the pattern? Yeah. So
movie wise, I kind of see some similarities. I know it's not the same people,
American
same
Gangster.
feel. American Gangster. That's the only thing I could think of movie wise. It got some. It's based off some true stories. They was getting heavy money just on different levels. This Paid in Full is definitely more street than American Gangster, but more TV shows. I agree. More TV shows than I think other than Snowfall, Power, and BMF. I think that's about.
I think the only thing that kind of could compare to this if they made a Supreme Team movie.
That
That's coming.
could, and
In-
I'm sure.
in-
yeah, well,
like
well,
in-
well,
like
well,
in
50
Queens.
50's working on
That's
that.
coming.
So.
Oh yeah.
no,
I'm about
Irv
to say-
Gotti. bringing
Oh,
it
Irv
up.
Gotti. I'm sorry.
Okay,
50
I'm
did
about to say.
50 did a documentary. I'm sorry. No,
No,
no.
Nas
Nas
did
did the
Nas did
documentary.
his documentary.
Nas did the documentary. Yeah, I forgot he beefing with he don't mess with them. Yeah, Nas did the documentary. Irv Gotti is doing the actual. So Irv
That's
Gotti
dope.
got to do that justice, man.
He
That's
has to.
That's a tough one
That's
too.
his man
right.
too.
That's his man. That's
So,
even
yeah,
more pressure.
yeah.
Well, at least he get the
It's gonna
inside
be
scoop.
easy. Yeah,
Get the inside scoop.
that's what make the BMF shit so easy.
But Paid in Full, 20 years later.
20, man. This is a classic. A hood
Paid in
classic.
Full.
Do not get it fucked up. I don't know all this shit Dame got going on. You know what I'm saying? Not saying negatively, but Dame put out a classic. You know what I'm saying? He is being slept on as a producer for putting this out. I just wish that so much more could have came from this, which I know he probably wish it could have. But this going out in all the movie theaters on time, just dropping, it would have been crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Too
on
much
like
time.
Miramax though.
Too much time for it to get bootleg. That's what killed it.
Paid in Full. is
Then
a
the
classic.
soundtrack.
Yo, Freeze, what's your top 5 drug movies?
Top 5 drug movies. All right, real quick. Of course, Scarface.
No order either. Just a
All right,
random 5.
Of course, Scarface. I'm gonna have to say, damn, but it's only a little bit of drugs in that at the ending, and that's only
What,
he was on
Scarface?
the Goodfellas, and that was on a small level. But I'm gonna go one from not gonna even do drugs, but I'm gonna do one that's alcohol, drugs, mobsters, because they was running like the mob. King of New York.
Okay.
King of New York was one of them.
Frank White.
Can I throw American Gangster? Yeah, that's probably it. Probably Paid in Full somewhere in there, but American Gangster, King of New York, Scarface is 3 strong ones.
You ain't like Blow?
Blow too. I forgot about Blow.
Blow's a great movie.
Yeah, Blow.
Got that on Blu-ray,
definitely
Carl.
Blow.
He got that on.
Definitely Blow.
Yeah,
Definitely
Blow
Blow.
was good.
That's tough, man. I don't know. I kind of separate the mob and the street movies. They kind of different to me. But Scarface is in a thing on its own. Then you got the Goodfellas and the casinos and all of them kind of mob
Yeah,
movies.
They mob drinks.
Then you got the street movies.
Scarface not a mob drink though. It's not. It's not.
Technically,
It's not.
He wasn't in the mob, but
yeah,
he was
but I'm saying
connected
it's not
with
a
the
mob. No, it wasn't. Scarface
Like
was not
Colombians.
connected to the mob.
Colombian mob. Who
No,
you
he
think,
wasn't.
Who you think
dog.
Sosa
Scott-
was?
Sosa wasn't part of no Colombian mob. Sosa had his own shit.
But he had his own freaking. What would you consider
Yeah,
that?
but
What would you consider that
wasn't in the mob.
organization? You see,
It's
you
not
see how
mob.
they came
That's
to
not
his
mob
crib?
activity.
You see how they came to his crib?
That's not mob activity, man. That's not mob activity.
You know, some street organizations coming to your crib like that.
Yeah, but he had politicians and motherfuckers like that coming to his crib.
Yeah,
Would you put Belly in your top 5?
Nah, absolutely not.
I don't know.
They're selling drugs.
I don't know, but it was a classic.
Belly was a classic, but it's not in my top 5 street
Visually,
drug movies.
it was nice. The acting wasn't the greatest.
And
Billy don't.
I'm forgetting one. I'm forgetting
Belly
maybe
don't-
one or two.
Belly don't
I'm
compare to
forgetting
Paid in
Deep Cover.
Full. Deep Cover was
Deep
classic.
Cover was classic.
Deep Cover was
And
classic.
Into Deep.
I like Into Deep.
You
That's a
feel
Super
me?
Bowl classic.
Like, yo, man, that's something we might have to come back and hit y'all
Now,
with,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
now I think
yeah.
we're going down levels, man. I don't think In Too Deep is compared to Paid in Full. That's
In
for
Too
me.
Deep was classic,
but
bro.
I don't think it's Paid in Full. I like In Too Deep, but you think In Too Deep is neck and neck with Paid in Full?
I might have to say so.
I can't.
But
I
not
can't go there.
As far
I
as
can't
as
go
far
there.
as listen, as far as the movie overall wise, like content, as far as the making of like the actual production and making of the movie, but actual truth, no, it's not nowhere close.
I can't go with you on that ride. I can't go. I like.
I'm saying it's close.
Okay,
it's close.
Do you know where that was set at?
It was in Jersey or something, wasn't it?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati.
Wow.
Yeah, but it was parts in Jersey as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And all the hood movies, Paid in Full. I think Paid in Full got in my top 5, man.
Oh yeah,
I think and like hood movies.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna say drugs. I'm just gonna say hood movies.
Hood movie classics. Yeah, it's in my top 5.
You know, you got the super hood movies like you got Boys in the Hood, Menace. You got Juice.
Yeah.
What was it? Boys in the Hood, Menace, Juice. I feel like I'm missing one.
Friday, I guess. You want to consider that?
Nah. I ain't gonna throw Friday. And Friday's a comedy more. But if it's not top 5, it's right there. It's like right there. It's a classic for sure. But man, 25 years later, man, this is a hood classic. Like it has an impact. Like you hear me throw, saying something happens every day, B. Like I be saying that with everything, just making up little regular scenarios, man. Like, yo, man, people get tired every day, B. Like I'll get that comes from this movie right here, man. So many people that influence, even when Puff made that MMM, Money Making Mitch, like all that's inspired by this movie. So many references. I remember Beanie. Who was that? When Jeezy came out and he was hot, he did the Soul Survivor video. Yeah. It was the whole Paid in Full. Yeah. Played out again. Like I got a big blew up picture of this on my wall. Like this movie. Yeah. Like this movie's a classic, man. It's a classic movie. It definitely stood the test of time. It definitely influenced the whole culture. And it's funny because it didn't even do good at the box office. And it's a classic, man.
Due to the way it was put out.
And if you haven't seen Paid in Full, man, go check it out.
This movie is always on Netflix.
It is
always on that. Like it'll be like maybe like a month off, and then they'll put it right back on there.
It's perfect for those platforms. Because it's a perfect movie for that platform. People didn't actually go to the movies to see this, but it's perfectly because it was already like heavily bootleg, like Freak said. So just for it to be on that platform, I'm sure you probably check the numbers on a movie like Paid in Full on them streaming platforms. I'm sure it's crazy.
Yo, this is like one of the movies that you just put on and start like
just let it go.
Just let it go. Just go do some laundry. Go watch the dishes.
I can watch this movie like over and over again, like easy, and just watch it like doing stuff. I'm doing stuff around the house watching Paid in Full, and I love seeing like my favorite quotes over and over again. Like it make me smile a little bit. Classic movie. Shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to Mekhi Phifer. Shout out to Woodhair. Shout out to Cameron, Dame Dash, Rockefeller Films at that time. Rockefeller Films kind of started up for this. So, man, shout out to Dame. Dame definitely, it's a lot of other names involved with this, but this was Dame's baby for sure, man. So you got to definitely give him his flowers for this. And, if you're going to do 2, man, hopefully you get everything right and you can, do it justice at least. It's hard doing part 2s, man. But definitely do it justice. But salute to everybody that was involved in Paid in Full. Happy 20th anniversary.
20.
Damn, 20.
Paid in Full, 20.
20. The dub.
It's crazy.
Classic. Classic. But we Concert Crew Podcast. Make sure you go follow us at Concert Crew Podcast.
Subscribe.
Make sure you go download, subscribe.
Hit the button.
We on all digital platforms, man. Go to our YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe. Check out all of our videos, man. Go, man, run those views up on all of our videos, man. We giving y'all dope content over and over again. Make sure consistently, absolutely. Make sure y'all go support, man. And y'all know the vibes, man. We're gonna continue to March 4th.
Always.
Long live Tez. We're gonna keep on saying it forever, brother. We got you. We holding you down. Once again, happy 20th anniversary. Paid in Full, Concert Crew Podcast. Yo, Pito, hit us with the fader. We out.
Yes.